Okay, first of all, Tobias.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're very happy and excited to do this interview because some people say the captain is the most important person on the ship, but I would argue that actually yourself is the most important person on this cruise ship. What do you think?
I totally agree because the ship will still drive without the captain, but without the food, there's no way that we can set sail. So I totally agree with that one. But don't let the captain hear that. So
No. We won't tell him. Maybe he's listening.
Yeah, most likely somewhere see a CCTV and they will. Otherwise, in Cadiz is to finish the cruise for me.
So, just by way of a quick introduction, so your name, your position, title, and how long you've worked for Royal Caribbean, those sorts of quick things.
Okay, my name is Tobias Friedenburg. I'm from Düsseldorf, Germany. I'm the executive chef for Oasis Class. That means I only do the big ones. I work with Royal Caribbean since 2012. I have done 2 openings for Royal Caribbean and several menu introductions and different other projects within the culinary operation.
Wow, you mentioned you only do Oasis Class, the big ones.
Yeah.
So obviously me and Chica used to work here, so we have an understanding of how big these ships are, but could you put that into perspective from a food and beverage point of view?
So when we have a full Oasis Class ship, so we're talking 6,700 guests and 2,200 crew members, we do around about 85 to 95,000 plated meals, and this is not including the buffets and the Windjammer and the Solarium, for example. That's only plated meals.
In one cruise?
On one day.
In one?
On one day. On one day. Because we have an a la carte breakfast on deck 3 in the main dining room, for example. We do 3 seatings in deck number 5. Yeah, we have my time dining in deck 3, so there's a lot of plated meals that go out. So that includes all the cheese plates, the desserts. You know, there's a lot of food that is leaving the galley. Just to give you a number, we're using around about 1.2 tons of only pineapple for a 7 days cruise if we have a full ship. So right now we are in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so we loaded, the last loading was in Galveston obviously, we, just to give you a number, we loaded 7.5 tons of chicken, only 7.5 tons, so the freezers are full, right? We loaded 3 times the amount of berries for this crossing. Right, because obviously there's no Amazon airdrop or something coming to help us, but eventually we gonna run out of some stuff like bananas. Is gonna be one big topic, because we get them in 3 different stages, but they get overripe, right? So that is always an issue. Always an issue. Yeah, if we load for 7 days loading on an Oasis Class, we're talking like $1.5 million only in food. Only in food. So that is a pretty big number. So you can imagine, we cannot just stop somewhere, go to the local butcher and tell him, by the way, I need a ton of chicken.
7 tons of chicken, please.
Is that possible in some way? You know, it's not
even in Texas.
No. Really? No, nowhere. That's not possible.
Wow. So, just you highlighted that bit there. We're on a slightly different cruise right now.
Yeah.
We're doing an Atlantic crossing, 16-night cruise, and so you already talked about how that's a bit different. But like you said, the freezers are just completely.
Yeah, we're stacked,
full.
you know, because we also have a different menu cycle, because on a 7-day cruise you have menu 1 to 7.
Yeah.
Obviously here we cannot do that because it would repeat itself.
Yeah.
So we need to have a brighter stock than what we would normally have. Also to give the guest a bit more of variety, because you don't want to continuously repeat eating the same food. Yeah. The specialty restaurants are more booked than on a 7 days cruise, because people want to enjoy different venues.
Yes.
So for example, at the moment we're in 150 Central Park. Normally we do a maximum of 110 covers. Now every day it's 150, 160 covers. So that is increasing obviously, and because of the specialized items for the specialty restaurants, we need to have a good stock on board to survive during that crossing.
And so one thing I've always wanted to know, even when I was a crew member, when you change locations, particularly going from the US to Europe, So how does that all work with the distribution of food? And you just plug into new systems, or like how?
No, we have a team, we have an inventory team in Europe.
Yeah.
And this inventory team in Europe is choosing the vendors for us.
Okay.
And I give you a quick example, Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
The American version
Yes.
is forbidden in Europe because of all the extra sugar and food coloring and so on and so on. So we need to buy local products.
Okay.
But it's the same way around. When we leave Europe again and go back to the US, we cannot have no European products. So all the European products need to be gone by then. Right? So when we do the crossing, of course we do the crossing with the European product.
Yeah.
But as soon as we enter the US, is no more of the European products allowed.
So for you as executive chef, what's the most difficult thing about your position?
Most difficult. To be honest with you, I don't consider my job as difficult. I mean, we have challenges, right? We have challenges. And if you ask me like this, I would say to deal with unreasonable things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never make everybody happy. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's really impossible. As much as we try, but you will never. But I don't think it's fair to criticize just everything randomly, you know, because you have one thing that you don't like, and then all of a sudden everything is really, really horrible, and everything is so bad. And that's the point where it's, I would say, the biggest challenge for me to not just say, then why do you cruise? If everything is that bad, why do you come? No, I'm serious. I'm very honest with that one. But luckily, to be honest with you, luckily that does not happen too often. You know, because it's most likely that the guests want to talk to somebody, and somebody that listens to them and takes care about their concerns. So that's the biggest thing.
And is there something that you wished people understood about the food operations on board?
Yeah, but that's very easy. It's everybody cooks at home. Yeah, but cooking for, like I said, if the ship is full, 6,700 people, 2,200 crew member, so we're talking 9,000 people. Breakfast, lunch, dinner on a sea day. It's a bit different than when you cook for 4 people at home, or for yourself, or for your wife and you. You know, so it would be. People need to understand that this is a totally different operation. It's also different than when you go to a hotel.
Yes.
Yeah. And when we are on a cruise, we have 7 days, or even worse if you do 2 or 3 or 4 day cruises, where you have shorter amount of time to make the people happy, right? And to deliver good food, right? So people need to understand that our operation is not like when you cook at home. So when you try to explain something to me, what you do at home, it's very nice, and I appreciate that for sharing that with me. But it's not possible over here, right? Like, for example, people ask me, do you get fresh fish? No, we don't. Why? Because that has something to do with hygiene, with a certain type of standard. Why do you don't get fresh oyster? Same. Because if you have one person sick on the ship, I mean, you guys know that, it spreads very quickly.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. And the numbers just can't add up.
I mean, that's what I said. You need to see breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you see Sorrentos, open at 10:30, close at 3 in the night. If you have a ship where you have more than 1,000 kids, you go between 14 to 15,000 cookies each and every day. That's what it is.
And how many pizzas?
If we have like a high kids count, most likely per day like 4,000. Because everybody eats pizza, you know, and let's face reality. If you're a bit tipsy and you pass by a Sorrento, you know what? I could do some slice of pizza, you know. So that's and same with the hot dogs upstairs in the doghouse. It's amazing.
How many hot dogs?
Depends. It depends. But on an average, I would say each hot dog like between 200 to 300 pounds each day. Especially up when you guys finish with the Alpha show, the guys come back, oh, you know what, I can grab a hot dog over there, you know, so then,
Wow. So for you, Tobias, what's your favorite thing about the job you have?
Dealing with so many different type of people and being around, be able to meet so nice and such a variety of people, and to learn so much about different cultures, make friends from places where, you know, I'm from Germany, so whenever I'm going to meet somebody from Bali or somebody from from the Philippines. So we went to the Philippines, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, some itineraries that I haven't done. You know, I still didn't do Alaska, but it's gonna come at some point. No, but what makes me really enjoy coming back every time after vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to ask as well is, me and Chica have always loved the food on board, typically, specifically in the specialty restaurants, and like the quality just seems very high considering the amount of people that you're on a boat. And we've also been to some resorts, right?
Yeah.
Not crazy high level resorts, you know, they're still out of our reach. But just talking about resorts that we have access to, there's a clear difference, I believe, from my experience, in the quality of food in some of the resorts we've been to versus on the ship, and actually the ship being higher.
Okay.
And so I just wondered, how do you maintain such a high standard?
I would say because, first of all, we have a very good culinary team shoreside, which
Right.
is helping a lot. Because if you don't have a certain standard that is given to you, you know, we have recipes for everything.
Yeah.
That's one big plus.
Okay.
Right, and I think that also what makes Royal Caribbean so successful and makes a difference to other companies, because you have a standard for everything. So of course everybody, maybe you like it a little bit more with more salt than what I do.
Yeah.
But that's a personal thing. But I think that is the standards that Royal has makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And I think also because we are choosing vendors very carefully. So you need to go through a long process until you be able to deliver to Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
And if there are complaints coming, then you're out quicker than you can come in, right? And then if you think resorts, I don't say every resort, no, not at all, but I don't think most of the resorts have really standards. They don't really have recipes. They buy today from this guy, and tomorrow they maybe buy from this guy because this guy does not deliver or cannot deliver. And it's also about how you train your people, you know, because we have a certain process. When you come new on board, then you have to go through certain procedures before you can be in a specialty restaurant, for example.
Yeah.
Right? You need to have certain years of experience before you really can come into 150, into Chops, into Jamie's or Giovanni's. If you think about, for example, when after the modernization, we're gonna get Samba Grill upstairs.
Yeah.
Right? So I was on a. It's amazing, believe me. You're staying with us?
No.
Okay.
Although we're going to be in Europe, so we might try and come back.
Yeah, then come back. At least come back, and then I'm gonna invite you to Samba.
Yes.
But don't eat anything at that day, believe me. It's you know, no, because I did Allure. I did the same thing what we're doing here last year on Allure.
Nice.
And yeah, Samba is just so much to eat. But what I wanted to say is you need to have somebody that has experience and a touch for the meats.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because in Samba it's all about the meats. Obviously it's about the gaucho that comes to the table, explains, gives a bit of show, but it's if it does not work from galley side, and you cannot put everybody everywhere. You know, that is you need to see, okay, what is your talent, where are you good in. You cannot put everybody in the pastry. Not everybody has a touch for that, not everybody has a sweet tooth, you know. So,
Yeah.
And or you cannot put everybody in chops, because you need to have a feeling. You cannot go on every steak. No. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to have a feeling for that.
Wow, so true. So we're aware that there's different levels of chefs, like you see the different coloured.
Yeah. So basically, I'm the executive chef. I'm in charge of all the culinary. That means also the utilities.
Okay.
Right. I have 5 executive sous chefs, which are my direct assistant.
Yep.
Which have different areas of responsibility. For example, I have one up in the Windjammer, one here for specialty, 2 in the main galley, and 1 in front of the ship. They have a direct assistant, which is called the sous chef.
Yep.
Right? And then you go red scarf, which is a station head. For example, I have a red scarf in every venue.
Yeah.
And they have chef, or it's called chef de partie, chef de partie 1, 2, or 3. And then you have blue scarf, which is a commie, and yellow scarf, they are brand new to the cruise ship.
Okay.
So that's their first contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
obviously for them everything is new, everything is big, and
Yeah.
you know.
So how many people is the team that puts out these 90,000 plates of meals a day?
So all together I have 365 crew members.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so 365 crew member make how many?
Make 85 to 95,000 plates. Yeah.
Plus the buffet.
Because don't forget we have stations that run 24 hours. Pastry, bakery, almost Windjammer, almost crew mess, almost.
Yeah.
They are in a rotation schedule. That's why it's limited time for them. Luckily, their rules and regulations were brought in and come up more and more that regulates the time that people are allowed to work per day and time that people actually can spend on a cruise ship.
Wow. But I feel like the food is primarily what makes the guests cruise, right?
You cannot have a successful cruise if the food is not good. No. Because what you gonna do? Yeah. You can, if you don't like the wine, I'm gonna give you a different wine. If you don't like the different wine, I'm gonna give you another wine.
Yeah.
Or if you don't like this cocktail, I'm gonna give you a different cocktail. If you don't like the service that is provided to you, you can get another waiter. Yeah. There is no disrespect, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't like the food, and that starts directly on embarkation day. If they come to the Windjammer is not properly. It's or the first breakfast, right? And I understand because you pay a certain amount for the cruise.
Yeah.
You want to have decent food.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And again, this brings us back because it's very good organized, fleet-wide. You know, I mean, we have Legend of the Seas coming now, ship number 30, and you need to have this kind of structure, otherwise you will not be successful.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a favorite specialty restaurant apart from Samba?
No, honestly, I would say Giovanni's. Because I think the variety in Giovanni's is, and the menu itself is the best for me personally.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I mean, chops obviously is good. 150 is an experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderland is not so much mine.
Okay.
No, I did all these things like. 15 years ago already, molecular kitchen and things like this, and it wasn't my favorite then, and it's not really my favorite now. So and I like Mediterranean food and things. So Giovanni's is, I mean, it's an American style Italian restaurant, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
That's what you also need to explain to the guest. It's not an authentic Italian restaurant.
Yes.
We're an American company.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a difference, but I would say Giovanni's.
Yeah.
I mean, Izumi, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I would not say at all, not only because I'm the executive chef, but I think all our specialty restaurants, but as well as the main dining room and the Windjammer, we provide very good food.
Yes.
You know, and I would say we keep the standards high.
Yeah.
I would recommend for everybody to taste everything. You know, especially if you are on this long cruise, go and try out everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to try.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, but you need to offer something. You know, you need to have variety. I also say to the people, okay, if you want to just grab something, here's Park Cafe. Grab a nice sandwich, grab a nice wrap, get a small dessert, and just sit there, enjoy the amazing Central Park. Okay, if the weather is gonna get a little bit better, but
So final thing, just about you and food. Why is food special to you in general? As a chef, as a human?
I mean, I have a passion. I have a passion for food. I'm very interested in food. And I just love to cook for people. Because for me, you know, if I cook something and you enjoy that makes me happy. You know, that makes me happy. And I think I see food different than not only like fuel for the engine.
Yes.
You know, it's art. It's something that we all have in common. You know, it does not matter where you're from, and we all have different types of food. I'm so interested in different types of food from different from different countries, from different regions. I mean, if you think about, for example, India, what a variety of food. What a variety of food. For example, when I go on vacation, I never go to fancy restaurants or something. I go to eat street food and things like this because, you know, to experience stuff, to get new input. Yeah?
Yes.
And I think that's basically it.
That's beautiful.
That's so amazing.
So much of what you said, I could just hear Chica like saying the same. Food is art. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
but
always say that.
yeah, no, but it is. It is really if you, and I don't think you can do that if you don't see it this way.
Yes.
Because if you just see it as a job, but that's the same what I said earlier. If I can jump in the water as well, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I think if you do not have a passion for the job that you're doing, it's wrong.
Yeah.
For me, that's just wrong.
Yes.
Because then you're gonna get grumpy, you're gonna get depressed, and oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish I would do that. You need to have a passion what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what I think.
A labour of love. I love
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. My personal question?
Yes.
Of course.
Maybe I'll ask around all the royal fans, maybe curious about the lobsters. So there's coming like a lobster night.
Yeah.
So how many lobsters?
How many pieces of lobster?
Yeah.
Most likely we go, because we're not full, we have around about 5,000 guests, but that would 7,500, 8,000 lobster. If we are full with 6,700, we go 10,500, 11,000 lobster tails.
And that's only one ship, right?
Yeah,
The
that's on.
Royal Caribbean.
That's only one ship. Just to give you a number, what do you think? How many whole cows do you need for the whole fleet for one day? What do you think?
How many cows?
Yeah,
For the whole fleet.
for 20. We have now 29 ships, right?
Yeah.
For the Royal
O-
Caribbean.
only Royal Caribbean
Yeah.
for one day. What do you think?
One day. How?
Just make a guess, because I know you're never gonna come up with the right number.
Okay. Fillets, right?
They're called
No,
cows.
100 cows?
500 cows.
12,500 cows. No. Yeah. Think about how much beef you find over one ship here.
That's so true. There's always a steak on a menu, isn't it?
Always think about chops. Think about here. Think about Jamie's or Giovanni's, whatever you have. Think about the Windjammer, the dining room, the crew mess, and 29 ships. And this is why I also think people should be more responsible of what they put on their plates, if they really eat it or not, because not only that, because resources are limited,
Yes.
right? And people need to understand that. I mean, think about this is only Royal Caribbean. There's no other cruise line. There's no McDonald's, no Burger King, no name them. Think about that.
That's a huge number.
Yeah, but
It's just
it's not really, because if you think 29 ships,
yeah.
think about the amount of people that are eating, right? And we're talking from Rhapsody of the Seas over Freedom, Quantum Class, Oasis Class, Icon, right? Passengers plus guests, crew plus passengers.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, everybody chops, not tepan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
yeah, it is. It is.
But I love that it's the respect also.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, why I put something on my plate, or the amount of food that I put on my plate. For example, if you see in the Windjammer,
Yeah.
we don't run out of food,
Yes.
right? So that means I can always go a second time, a third time. Yeah, but why overload and then let it been thrown away?
Yes.
Dining room, same. If I still feel hungry, I always can get a second main course,
Yeah.
or a second appetizer, or a second dessert, you know? So, and I don't think that you ever leave the ship hungry. No, to be honest with you, whoever leaves the ship hungry did something really wrong. Yeah, really wrong. Yeah? Because I mean, if that's why sometimes it's amazing when people say me there's nothing to eat. No. Okay, so I don't know what I do all day, but I'm quite sure that there's something to eat somewhere around the ship. You will find something. You know?
Yeah, if you look hard enough.
It's difficult to find. Yeah. I know. I hide it. But no. It's. I think there's pretty much something to eat for everyone. No, I hope so.
Yeah, we're not having a problem.
Okay, that's great. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. At least I found 2 out of 5,000 who don't have a problem. Successful. Day success. Finish for today. Can go in the crew cabin.
Yeah.
Job achieved today.
Yeah, you can report that in your meeting.
Yeah, I can call my F&B director and say, boss, today, goal achieved, we can go. Ding.
Oh, Tobias.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your cruise. Yeah, and like I said, if you stay in Europe, come for Samba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will do.
That's one of our favorite meals, by the way.
Yeah, then come. Let's go.